Welcome everybody to another edition of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. Today I'm going to make Pollo alla Cacciatora, or in English, chicken cacciatore. For this, and this is a very basic but authentic version of it, but authenticity is really relative, and we'll get into that maybe a little bit later. But for this, I have a whole chicken cut up. I've removed the wings, and I've added in 4 additional chicken breasts with the skin. I've got 1 onion diced up. I've got 2 stalks of celery diced up. I've got 2 carrots diced up, 1 green bell pepper. I've got 28 ounces of whole tomatoes crushed, okay? And these are Roma tomatoes. If you can use San Marzano, that's even better. But Roma tomatoes is really most frequent in your stores to get that. I've got about 1 cup of whole black olives pitted. I've got 2 tablespoons of oil twice, and you'll see the reason why we're going to use that twice. I've got 1 cup plus a little bit more of red wine, dry red wine preferably, but I actually like sweeter red wine, so that's what I use in mine. I've got 3 whole cloves of garlic. I've got 1 sprig of oregano. I've got 2 sprigs of rosemary. I've got 1 tablespoon of rock salt. This is Himalayan pink salt. You can use whatever salt you want. And then I've got 1 teaspoon of cracked black pepper. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a marinade to marinate this chicken and let it sit for a half hour. Now for the marinade, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pour in all of the red wine. Then we're going to take the olive oil. We're going to pour that in. Then we're going to take the garlic cloves, the herbs, and the salt and the pepper. And we're going to take this and we're going to stir this up really good so that everything is all mixed together. Once we have this all mixed together and the marinade all set, we're going to cover this with some plastic wrap and we're going to stick it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. The chicken has been marinating for 30 minutes. So we're going to take the plastic wrap off, we're going to take this chicken over to the stove, and we're going to start browning it, and we're going to reserve all of the juices that are in this marinade for use later. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of olive oil to an already heated pan, and we're going to swirl this around a little bit. Next, we're going to take the pieces of chicken and we're going to put them skin side down in this hot oil. We're going to put them all the way around. As you can see, we have all the pieces of chicken skin side down first. We're going to take and cook this on high heat. We're going to brown it a little bit, and then we're going to flip them over, cook them, and brown the other side a little bit as well. Take a look, and we'll see. Yeah, the skins are starting to brown. And so we're going to turn these, and then we're going to let it cook again for another 2-3 minutes. After about 15 minutes or so, the chicken browns to this. It's not completely done, but we wanted to get some brown, we wanted to get some flavor into the pan, and now we're going to put this separate on a plate, and we're going to use these juices that are in here to saute our vegetables. We've got a bit of brownness in here, so what I want to do is I want to do a little deglazing. So I'm going to take a little bit of chicken stock. I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to break up these bits and pieces in here before I start sauteing. I took those bits and pieces and the juices, and what I did is I put that with the rest of the marinade that I've reserved, and now I'm going to take this onion, and I may need a little bit of olive oil. And you know, when you're cooking, you always need to be ready to improvise and add little bits of here and there as you go. So I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to do this is a rough sofrito. And what that is it used to be called a mirepoix in French, or the Trinity, but it's celery, onion, and carrot. And we're going to cook this down just a little bit. And then we'll add some green pepper. And then we'll be ready to add everything back into the pool. Next, I'm going to add in all of the juices from the marinade and the juices I took out of the pot, along with the sprigs of oregano and of rosemary. Now it's time to add the hand-crushed tomatoes. Pour those all around, get them and mix them in real good. Now we're going to put the temperature up to high. We're going to cook this uncovered for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we're going to take and turn the heat down to medium. We're going to turn over these pieces a bit. And we're going to cover this and cook it simmered on medium to medium low for 45 minutes. While this is happening, get a pot of water going and make yourself a pound of pasta, whether it's spaghetti or linguine, some sort of long noodle, because it's really good to serve this over a bed of noodles as well. For the last 5 minutes, you're going to fold in the black olives, and then you're going to cover and let simmer the last 5 minutes with the olives in there. Now the chicken cacciatore is done, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just a half a ladle of this broth, and I'm going to put it in here because I'm going to mix that in with my pasta to give my pasta some flavor. So now let's take this and let's plate it on a big plate. And so here you have it, a perfect Pollo alla Cacciatora, chicken cacciatore, an Italian chicken hunter stew with pasta with some of those vegetables and juices mixed in. Outstanding hearty dish for any time of the year. And it's very low calorie. One thing I did do is I peeled off all of the chicken skin, because even though you brown it, you don't brown it to get it crispy. You brown it to get the flavor into all of that broth. That's the reason. So when you cook it, and you cook it for a long time, that skin will get rubbery. You can keep it in if you want, but I discard the skin because to me it's no bueno. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this dish. I hope you'll give it a try. And I hope to see you again on another edition of Papa Bojo's Kitchen. Buon appetito, everybody. We'll see you again. Take care.